Aquarius? Welcome to your August soul session. I'm Marlo. If you're new and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. And of course, if you resonate with this message, be sure to tickle my like button because, she's kinky and she's into that sort of thing and whatnot or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And as always, the link to the extended for this reading is in with your cards now. Is in the description box below this video. And also check out the community tab if you'd like to join my book study club, because we're starting Conversations with God on the 31st of July. Man, this chair is squeaking. It is time to replace it. I am so sorry, Aquarius. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into your cards. The first card out that we have coming out of July and into August is the Nine of Swords. So it's a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of worry. And honestly, I'm kind of skipping ahead here, but with this Magician in the reverse here, the first thing that I get with this is, and this is going to sound strange, it's almost like a fear of your gifts, if that's making sense. You know what I'm saying? It kind of feels to me almost like you guys are going through like a transition or a transformation. I see that, of course, with this Five of Wands as well, because it's more or less a need for you guys to step into your power. Because what it's looking like for me, up to this point, you guys have kind of been in a position to where you've been disempowered in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And not even saying like in life, but this literally feels like hella spiritual to me. But so, I mean, it could be like you guys just starting to meditate or do shadow work or diving deeper on your spiritual journey. And it feels almost like the things that are coming up for you guys is a tad bit unnerving. And of course, with the Nine of Swords, we can be speaking specifically to like nightmares. You guys may be having, strange dreams, strange occurrences, or, feeling like a presence in the room with you, or anything along those lines. In the most mundane sense, it's more or less feeling stuck in a situation to where it's almost feeling as if you can't get out of it. But with this Five of Wands, of course, that's my Petty LaBelle card, by the way. The solution to this is really standing in your power. So a theme that I've been seeing for the last couple of signs that I've done prior to you guys is very much like this Five of Wands, where it's more or less the issues, the troubles, the conflict, things of the sort that are popping up in everyone's lives day to day with other people at work, what have you. All of those are kind of symptoms of the deeper problem being that one is like out of alignment with the path that you're now being called to walk on, if that's making sense. Now, the next card that we have, if I didn't call it, I did now. We have the Death card, and of course that's Scorpio energy. So exactly like I was saying, guys, it's a transformation that's coming. So it's a death of an old way of being, and now transitioning, if you will, into another form. And I feel like that's scary because, of course, I mean, it's change. It's something different, especially if we're speaking in the context of like spirituality. Like, I mean, if your psychic gifts and things kicking in, child, that's not necessarily a fun ride, And I mean, I've had this conversation with a lot of people this week where there's been very strange synchronistic events that have been happening to like literally everyone I know, to the point where it's like literally creeping them out. Like, 6 different people, like strangers that are literally randomly coming up to you and saying the same thing type of stuff, And so with this, guys, there's a transition that's happening from this old way of being. The conflict that you guys have been experiencing up to this point, because even though we're talking about like the first 7 days really of August, it's like I really feel with this Five of Wands that this is something that has continued to happen up into this particular point. And you guys are kind of reaching like an end with this, because it's almost like, and I've said this with a lot of other signs too, it's like a feeling of foreboding. It's like, I feel like something's going to happen, but I don't know why I think something's going to happen. And I don't really know what is happening type of deal. But the solution with this is you guys standing in your power and more or less kind of taking a step back and really looking at the bigger picture in reference to you guys' current circumstances, because I don't know why, like what my guides are showing me right now. So sorry to interrupt you guys while you're listening to the show, but I wanted to tell you guys about our new partnership with BetterHelp. If you haven't heard of them, it's an online resource in which you can find your very own friendly local neighborhood therapist, no matter where you are in the world. You sign up, and within 24 hours, they match you with a therapist that's right for you. And you can talk to your counselor every week via phone or video chat. You can also text them between sessions. If you or someone you know has been considering therapy, get started today with BetterHelp. Now let's get back to the show. It's like a work situation, and it's kind of like an Aquarius person who works at like this job, and it's almost like everybody gives you shit. Whether it's your boss, it's your coworkers, it's just kind of feeling like you're like a black sheep at the company. Like you just kind of don't fit in. And they just said for some people, you could literally feel like that with your family. But it's like this feeling where it's like you're always being attacked. It's like people are always coming at you, or they're always hearing what you said as wrong. And it's like, what is it? Like, what is going on? Like, I'm trying my best and I don't understand, why it is that, people are perceiving me in this particular light. But the thing I'm being led to tell you guys in reference to that, when I say standing in your power is, and this is kind of reminding me of Sagittarius is reading too. If you have that in your chart, definitely check it out, because there was a whole little coup thing going on with them. But it's like what I mean by standing in your power is not internalizing these people's behavior, because it's almost, and this is going to get a little weird, but you're an Aquarius, so I feel like you could pick up what I'm putting down. But it's almost like subconsciously, right? And I talked about this in great depth in Sagittarius's reading. It's almost like, and they're extended, it's almost like subconsciously, it's like some sort of vendetta. If you wanted to go as deep, child, as like past life, vendettas and things, you're more than welcome. But I ain't gonna go that deep. I'm just gonna try to keep it surface level so we don't lose nobody. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, but it's more or less like it's like a subconscious thing where a person just feels like provoked or led to just like mess with you, or to just not like you type of deal. But it's almost like spirit using those people for your benefit, because it's like them having conflict with you is supposed to help you realize how you've been disempowering yourself to it. So it's almost like throughout the course of your life, or even if, we keep it small and we're just looking at like the last couple of months leading up into this month, it's almost like everyone has a bone to pick with you, and it's been happening, like it's become pervasive, like it's happened so often that now you're really starting to look at yourself. And I have to give a disclaimer there, because child, first of all, if you got a whole bunch of people at a bunch of different jobs or in a bunch of different relationships, and everybody is telling you that, they're telling you the same thing that you're doing wrong, that's a whole nother type of thing. That's when it's time for us to self-reflect and look at ourselves. But this isn't that type of situation. It's like, it's literally like, why is it that you just don't like me? And I don't even understand why it is that you don't like me, but it's happened for so long that I feel like you guys have started to internalize it, where you're like, well, maybe I am doing something wrong. Like, do I need to be more like this? Do I need to be more like that? Do I need to do less of this? Do I need to do less of that? Right. And what that's doing in turn is disempowering you even more so, Aquarius. You feel what I'm saying? So the whole key with this is more or less a need for some reflection. And it sounds so simple of how it is that I'm saying it, but I know that it's like, it's a lot more complicated than that. So forgive me, because like I'm saying this and what I'm seeing in the cards, but this is like a process. So it's not just like, oh, okay, I get it. I've been disempowering myself. I'm gonna go ahead and empower myself right fast. You know what I'm saying? So even though the energy is kind of shifting into that, of like the thing that you guys are transitioning out of in the first week of August, or the thing that you're dying to, is being in this disempowered state. However, with this Magician in the reverse coming into our second week of August, you guys are still kind of there. It's like you're not really stepping fully into your power, because your energy is still very scattered, which is completely understandable. So I feel like with this Death card coming in, this isn't necessarily like an event per se, like, getting fired from the job or something like that. I don't feel that it's anything like that. I feel it's more or less like, oh God, this is going to be kind of creepy. You know, when you think about the angel of death, you know what I'm saying? And the angel of death passes through. That's kind of what this energy feels like to me. It's almost like in the second week, it's like you guys may wake up and feel slightly different, or you may feel some sort of an unction to go in a particular new direction, you know? But the whole premise with this is to bring your energy back into yourself, because I feel whatever this situation is, it's like these people are like literally living rent free in your head. You know, if I could say it that way, it's like a lot of the unrest and anxiety and things of the sort that you guys may be feeling, or even like picking yourself apart, trying to figure out like how to be better or how to do different. It's it's not you, it's them, but it's like with them, it's like some kind of just weird vendetta that they have with you. But I can see how spirit is working through this. This sounds so much like Sagittarius. I can totally see how spirit is working through this in the sense that the point is to get you into your power, right? So with this three of coins in the reverse, I feel the realization you guys will start to come to, and if not, this is just something that could behoove you, is not necessarily working so closely with people. Like I feel what would behoove Aquarius at this point in time is kind of like being solo dolo, because I feel what has happened up to this point is like, it's almost like all of these voices or how you've been treated up to this point has been kind of chipping away at your self-esteem up to this point, and you're not really trusting in yourself. So it's like a level of insecurity with whatever it is that we're talking about, like with doing your job, what you create, if you're baking cakes, whatever the case, whatever we're talking about here. So it's like you're not super confident in how it is that you know, like you're approaching things in so many words, or what it is that you're working on. And I think if at all possible, something that would behoove you guys, my phone is vibrating. There's something that would behoove you guys in this second week that kind of helps you with this transition into stepping into your power is stepping back from people in order to help yourself to step into your power, if that's making sense. So if, you know, if you're like a writer and every time you write something, like you're always going to people, like asking them to read it, you know, and if they're like, they don't get it, or they're like, you know, making comments about it, you know, and stuff like that. And that starts to like make you more insecure. So you're kind of like, oh, this is bad. I think something that would help you guys is either keeping what you're working on to yourself and just trusting yourself and just kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall in a sense, or having one trusted person that you know is well versed in whatever it is that you're working on, and go to that one particular person, if at all possible, because I know everyone's life circumstances are different, right? Now, with this Hierophant in the reverse, that's of course Taurus energy. I don't know if I told you guys that's Aries energy, but Taurus energy here is more or less you guys coming out of agreement again with this old way of being, because the overall vibe I'm getting from this Aquarius is like, this isn't you, right? Like how, like the mindset that you guys are in right now, it's the byproduct of you being chipped away and eaten away at. But I feel like what you've come into at this point is not who you are, right? Like it's not how you have ever shown up in the world. And I feel with this Hierophant in the reverse, it's a little bit of a violation of your own like core values in a sense. But I don't feel that it was like just a complete disregard of them. Like I say, that chipping away, it's almost like you guys coming out of alignment with what it is that you really value over time. Because it's, I don't know why they keep wanting me to say that. It's just something about eating away. So it's a lot of influence from people outside of yourself, and the influence that you have coming in, it's not coming from people who have like your best interest at heart. And like the thing that my guides are showing me, this is, please watch Sagittarius, because this has so much to do with Sagittarius. It's like them seeing like a light in you. So it's like with this Magician in the reverse, it's like they see your gifts, they see your light, they see your abilities. And for reasons unbeknownst to them, because I legit don't even, like if they're consciously aware, it's just one of those things where it's like, I just don't like him. I just don't like her. It's like, well, why you don't like, I don't know. She stuck up, or he think he all that. It's like, it would be something so superficial and mundane like that. But for some reason, it's been happening so much that Aquarius has started to internalize it and is literally making you doubt yourself to where you're thinking, maybe I'm not as good as I thought. Maybe I'm not as talented like as I thought I was, or, whatever the case. But I feel it's kind of silencing these voices because I don't know, dude, it's like such a weird thing I'm feeling. Like I see them seeing your light, but at the same time, and that's why I can understand this is co-workers, there's some level of reliance that you have on these people for some reason, to where it's like, so I don't know if it's like a chain of command type of thing, or I don't know, but it's like it's some level of reliance that I'm seeing Aquarius has. And what's really going to be your healing self, and not saying like to go into full on isolation, but I think kind of getting away from those voices and kind of marinating in your own and getting back to your what do you call that? I base camp is trying to come out of my mouth, but that's not the word that I mean. Baseline. There we go. I was like, not base camp. But if you get back to your baseline, which is identifying what your core values are or revisiting them and seeing if decisions that you've been making or stuff that you've been fraternizing with is in any way out of alignment with your core values, or you're working with a company that is completely out of alignment with your core values, like you do not agree with the mission of the type of things that they do and things of the sort. These are all things that would behoove you in the second week of August to really kind of hone in on and to get clear about, especially with the 8/8 portal that week, as well as the full moon, which is in your sign, that of which is Aquarius, right? And releasing anything that's no longer serving you, because I don't know, child, I keep seeing this 3D and like the spiritual element to stuff. And I know like we're living in a time right now where it's like very macro, micro, and mirror effects are happening, and we're seeing everything reflecting each other. But I'm seeing clearly with you guys, Aquarius, how this is a very 3D situation that's playing out. But I'm seeing very much so that there's spiritual influences that are behind this happening. But I can encourage you, letting you know that in the midst of all of this, like spirit is very much in control and working through. And this is exactly what I said to Sag. Spirit is working through something that a person or people intended for, your downfall, your oppression, or, stealing a promotion from you, whatever the case, whatever it is that they intended for you for ill is working out for your good. And why, I'm not going to say why this is happening, more or less while this is happening, the thing that your task is stepping back into your power and shutting down all of those voices that are speaking to you, and to channel your energy back into yourself, so that your energy is more like, on par, like, the direction you're going and you know what you're doing, why type of deal. So I hope and pray that that's making sense, Aquarius. This is an interesting soul session. I'm going over to my network, Vimeo, Patreon, all the places to do you guys extended, where we're going to look at the remainder of the month and a little glimpse into September. So if you're about that life, follow me on over there. But if not, I still love your freaking face, and I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends. Kiss, kiss. And that's the new thing. I know it's lame, but so am I. So kiss, kiss.